Bill O'Reilly here, Monday, April 13th, 2020. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. New poll shows a majority of Democrats prefer Cuomo over Biden. The virus infecting 500,000 people now in the USA. Mike Huckabee sues Florida authorities over the contagion. A writer for the New York Times claims the virus kills the myth that America is a great country. Drivers set a new cross-country record, and also ahead. Pandemic politics, they are nasty. But first, new survey from the Club for Growth shows a majority of Democrats would swap Joe Biden for Governor Andrew Cuomo as the party's nominee. 56% say the New York governor would make a better pick this fall. 44% want to stick with the former vice president. Cuomo currently enjoys a 90% state approval rating for his handling of the pandemic. The virus now impacting more than 150 countries across the planet. According to researchers at Johns Hopkins University, nearly 1.9 million cases of the disease have killed 115,000 people. The USA is reporting 500,000 infections with 22,000 fatalities, half in New York State. A New York Times writer says the virus kills the myth that America is the greatest country on earth. Contributor Viet Thanh Nguyen saying the disease reveals, quote, inequality, callousness, selfishness, and a profit motive that undervalues human life and overvalues commodities in America. Typical New York Times. Mike Huckabee suing Florida officials for blocking access to his private beachfront property during the pandemic. The former governor of Arkansas claiming the Gulf County Coast decision blocks him from using his own backyard. Huckabee and his neighbors say the ordinance violates their constitutional rights. Interesting case. I'll cover it tonight on BillO'Reilly.com. Team of drivers setting a new cross-country record, trekking from New York City to Los Angeles in 26 hours, 38 minutes. Wow. The route dubbed Cannonball Run is attempted each year. Traffic down everywhere because folks are staying home during the pandemic. So the cars are able to really motor, so to speak. In a moment, pandemic politics. Hide the children. Right back. There are thousands of abandoned animals in the USA that need our help. I am partnering with Delta Rescue, the largest no-kill care-for-life animal sanctuary in the world. Founded by actor Leo Grillo, who left Hollywood to devote his life to saving abandoned animals. Delta Animal Sanctuary is a one-of-a-kind rescue unit. They are staffed by trained attendants who look after each animal, providing them water, treats, toys, and affection. Support Delta Rescue and put your legacy to work. Each life-saving gift helps Delta fulfill their mandate to rescue and care for animals. Request a free estate planning package at deltarescue.org/bill. For a limited time, please watch The Rescuer for free only at deltarescue.org/bill. The Rescuer is an award-winning documentary about Grillo's 2-year rescue of a family of 21 dogs abandoned in the wilderness. deltarescue.org/bill. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day, the political aspect to the contagion. There is a wall of doom being erected in America. The media building it by sensationalizing coverage of the pandemic instead of providing facts and honest context to people who desperately need it. Here are some of the headlines I recently found on the net. Economic devastation looms. Record bankruptcies predicted. Pandemic will cleave nation in two. Broke Americans consider selling blood. Czech nudists told to wear face masks. Only the last story had any factual basis. The others were speculative. While it is certainly true that the press has always posted flaming leads, this time there is a dark reason to do it. The deadly virus spreads quickly and without warning. That creates mass fear, and fear creates opportunity. There are Americans, including some media chieftains, who believe that 4 more years of President Trump is actually worse for the country than the contagion. So while the virus is amongst us, it should be used to damage the president as much as possible in the minds of these people. Therefore, doom is a much better context than hope. Any positive development is scrutinized, while negative occurrences quickly gathered and spotlighted. You cannot build a wall of doom upon a foundation of better times ahead. The primary construction crew of the horror wall is the usual far-left apparatus that also sees a chance to damage the capitalist system. Thus, a spate of reports on how much Americans will suffer economically even after the virus abates. We saw this when Bernie Sanders demanded the federal government pay every worker's full salary throughout the pandemic. That, of course, would collapse the U.S. dollar, as the Treasury Department would have to print trillions in paper currency to meet the obligation. But that's what Sanders, George Soros, and elements of the New York Times want: economic and societal chaos. So a new world order could be built based on Marxist redistribution principles. With that in play, let's welcome in the Thunder Doom spectacle. It is here for all to see. And please note exactly who is putting bricks in that wall. They are not looking out for you or your family or your children or anyone else. They are using a terrible, unprecedented in modern times contagion to advance their political ideology. That's wrong, but it's happening, and you see it. I get a lot of questions. Well, what can we, the people, do about it? You can talk about it. You can post it on the net, and you can walk away from bad people who are using a fatal illness to advance their political agenda. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I prove that message by writing it. For more news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. In a moment, something you might not know. You know me as a news guy, but today I'm a science guy. I've accumulated my share of aches and pains over the years, which started my quest for a natural solution. I found it in Omega XL. The stuff works, and it has 30 years of research to prove it. Omega XL is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory supplement that helps relieve joint and muscle pain. There's nothing like it. Omega XL has health benefits way beyond joint comfort. Here's another reason I take Omega XL. Research shows that it can rebalance inflammation in the body and promote a healthy immune system, vitally important. So, please do 2 things today for yourself. Stay close to your loved ones and order Omega XL, the supplement that can deliver pain relief while improving your overall health. Order now and get a second bottle absolutely free of charge. Please go to omegaxl.com/bill. That's omega, the letters xl.com/bill. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Half of the entire human population is now under some form of lockdown. 3.9 billion people facing travel restrictions, mandatory temperature checks, even curfews. However, and I bet you didn't know this, some places are already reopening their economies. Despite sharing a border with hard-hit northern Italy, the nation of Austria easing restrictions on universities, businesses, and private gatherings. Small shops can begin serving customers this week. Larger businesses like department stores on May 1st. Other services such as hair salons, hotels, restaurants, ski resorts must petition the government for opening and will likely start in mid-June. While its neighbors are busy fighting some of the biggest outbreaks on the planet, Austrians can thank quick reaction for their good fortune. The first case there was reported on February 25th. Within 5 days, all schools were canceled. 2 weeks later, the country's 9 million person population locked down. Austria has 13,000 cases of the virus, resulting in 350 deaths. Recent testing, however, shows the number of infections can be 3 times higher than has been reported. So not everybody's on board with opening things up. Officials at the World Health Organization say easing restrictions can reignite new waves of the virus. We'll see. Despite the advice from the WHO, Austrian officials are forging ahead. However, every person in that country will be required to wear a face mask in public and maintain 6 feet of separation. Violating the order can land you big fines or even jail time, and I don't really know how you do that if you're going to have a cup of coffee in a cafe. And here's something else you might not know. Austria's geographical isolation and mountainous terrain has largely protected the nation from previous contagions. The last major outbreak was the Plague of Vienna in 1679. The disease spread by rats arriving on ships parlaying the Danube River. That virus killed more than 80,000 residents within 3 years in Austria. Of course, with modern transportation like air, rail, and road, the Alps offer absolutely zero protection. Back after this. It's shocking that your home can be stolen easily. Deborah learned that brutal lesson when thieves found her home's title online. They then forged the document to appear she sold her house, but she didn't. The criminals borrowed thousands using Deborah's home equity. She didn't even know she was a victim until foreclosure and eviction notices arrived. She spent a fortune trying to get her home back. The FBI now calls home title fraud one of the fastest growing crimes, but you can avoid a possible nightmare by protecting your home with Home Title Lock. Neither your homeowner's insurance nor your bank protects you. For pennies a day, Home Title Lock will. Find out if you're already a victim of home title fraud. So please register your home at HomeTitleLock.com and enter BILL, B-I-L-L, for 1 month of free protection. That's BILL for 1 month free at HomeTitleLock.com. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.